Decode that with Gaurav Dua, who is the Senior VP and Head Capital Market Strategy at Sharekhan by PNB Paribas, joining us. Hi Gaurav, good to be speaking with you. First up, give us a sense on the markets, because though today the benchmark indices are not doing that well, but there's been a much awaited relief in the mid and small end of the market. How do you read into that? And is the worst behind, or there could be some more volatile times ahead for the Indian markets?
Yeah, after the sharp fall that we have seen for past few weeks, it's obvious that markets are trying to rebound. The large cap index is stuck and trying to test 22,800 for a long time, and that has given some kind of breathing space to the small caps after the sharp fall. So our technical analyst has come out with a reports yesterday, and he feels that there could be a 8 to 10% kind of a rebound in the small cap index over the over these next few days or weeks.
We will get back to you, but we have to shift focus back to Delhi then, where the oath-taking ceremony is underway. So let's go across and cut into that.
के अनुसार न्याय करूंगी। मैं रेखा गुप्ता ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूं कि जो विषय मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष या अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगी।
All right, that's Rekha Gupta of BJP taking oath as the CM of Delhi, and she's the second CM of Delhi after, of course, we had second CM of Delhi from BJP. But let's move on then and get Gaurav back. Gaurav, let's talk about the markets now. Gaurav, do we have Gaurav back? Right. So Gaurav, you spoke about a very interesting thing that you said about the small and the mid-cap space, that you could see an 8 to 10% up move coming in the small to mid-cap space. But Gaurav, despite the correction, both small and mid-cap, in fact, small caps are almost in the bearish territory, down 22% from their highs. Mid-cap is also down almost 18%. Despite that, a lot of analysts believe that there's still froth left in the mids. But you are of the opinion that perhaps there is still, perhaps they have corrected enough and there's going to be an up move now. Is that what you mean?
No, what I'm saying is there could be a technical rebound, and that will be a rebound which you can actually use to exit some of the stocks. We continue to believe that the valuations are at a comfortable zone in the large caps, but still risk reward ratio is not favorable in the small cap, micro cap space. And I think this year of 2025 is going to be there's still a lot of this thing pain there in that space. They are still trading at around 40-45% premium to large cap and around 30-35% premium to their long-term averages in a scenario where you have slowdown in the economy, and the globally also there is a lot of this thing uncertainties. So I don't think this thing damage is over in the small cap this thing micro cap space, but yes, we are this thing due for a rebound.
So maybe the worst is not over for the mid and small end of the market. But Rahul, sticking with the large cap space, we are just done with the Q3 earnings season as well. Help us understand that for now, which sector seems to be safest as per you, where within the large cap space as well, one can actually look to go ahead and invest?
So, what we have done in our fund is that over the past few months, we have increased exposure to ID, Pharma, and some of the private banks. And we have been able to reduce exposure to basically cap goods, engineering, public sector banks, public sector on the whole. We also believe that it is now time to start looking at NBFCs and the specialty chemical space. These are the two spaces which have actually not done well in past 2 years. And I think they are like, close to the bottom, and we can start seeing upside in these two spaces also.
Right. Also, Gaurav, now that you're speaking about the sectors, talk to us about the PSU pack that has been beaten down quite a bit. Do we see re-rating happening in the PSU packs?
So, some of these spaces there, especially railway, defense, power, were like overheated. So I think it's only it's natural that there is some this thing sanity which is this thing coming back there. Having said this, I think over next few months you will be able to get these stocks at the very very right kind of prices, and that will be the time to basically increase exposure there, because all these spaces, defense, railway, and this power sector is actually structural multi-year stories. The only issue was that the valuations had become extremely, extremely frothy.
Right, that's a very interesting take, Gaurav, on the PSC pack, that wait for some more time and then maybe the valuation or the mean reversion could happen in the best possible way. But Gaurav, there's been a lot of chatter around what the Donald Trump tariff implication could be on an emerging market like India. What is your sense that how fearful should one be with respect to this particular announcement, and any sectors you wish to flag off which could actually feel this heat the most and one should be really wary of?
So I think what we hear right now is basically autos is something which could see some pressure, because that's where you have the highest tariffs compared to the imports in India, and obviously there could be some more other spaces. But I think auto is something where you need to be careful. Apart from this whole tariff wars which has been unleashed, I think will have a is started to have a very very negative impact on the exchange rate. So most of the countries where they are going to levy this thing tariff, they are going to let their currency go down, depreciate, which is going to basically reduce the impact of those this thing tariffs. So that is what we are seeing, and we believe that rupee can go down to 89, 90 levels. So that's why we believe that some of these uh, sectors which are going to benefit from the depreciation of the rupee are going to outperform.
Gaurav, specifically on autos, help us understand that how do you see Indian players actually getting to feel the heat of that? Because what we understand is that India is not a major contributor in US imports, as well as, yes, we do have exposure in the auto ancillary side, which is not very much in comparison to the overall import bill of the US. So because of the disruption in the global supply chain, do you believe that could trickle into the Indian markets and players as well?
So the last few days you have heard statements that the import tariff levied by India on imports of cars, especially EVs, is extremely high. Right now, most of our domestic auto players have been trying to ramp up their EV portfolio. So if India is forced to bring down the import tariffs on the EVs, basically for imports, that is going to affect the volumes of players like Tata Motors, Mahindra, Marutis of the world. Now, this is just the initial things that we have heard. How is this going to play out is not clear. Apart from this, they have also spoken about steel, metals, pharma, but I think all this is dependent on the study that has been done there, and the final outcome of all this is expected to come in April. So by then, I think all these statements, news flows will have impact on the stocks of these sectors.
Gaurav, we'll stay with the tariff war, and you mentioned the pharma pack as well. And yesterday the entire pharma pack was reeling under pressure on the back of that. I mean, US is the largest importer for Indian pharma products, and in fact, 60% of the generic products come in from India. Now, what could be the potential impact on the margins of the companies supplying to the US, and also the kind of pricing environment it is going to lead to should the tariffs kick in?
So, it is not clear right now what will be the levy. So, you cannot actually work out what will be the impact on the margins. Having said this, you have already seen, over the period of last few years, there's been intense pricing pressure in US, especially for the this generic drugs, because of the number of approvals that has been that has been coming. So many players now get approvals at the same time. So the kind of margins most of these players used to earn 6 years, 8 years back are not there now. So they have already faced the pricing pressure issues in US. Now, if there is some additional burden which is being levied, which is still not clear, will it be, will it not be? Because ultimately, the aim of the government there is to bring down the cost of healthcare. So, putting some additional levies and making those drugs, medicines expensive, actually do not go well with the logic. So how is it going to play out is still not clear to everyone.
All right, Gaurav, with this, we'll let you go on that. It was great chatting with you on ET Now today. Thank you so much for your time.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.